This is a digital update for our seniors, part of our Digital Skills for Seniors program, covering November 2025. In this update, I'll be covering rising scams. We're moving into the Christmas period and fraudsters are going to be having a ball. How to go about buying a new iPhone with the launch of the iPhone 17. And Apple Intelligence, is it there or is it still work in progress? And if we're talking about digital, how about a few recommendations on streaming and an iPhone tip? Fraudsters are constantly innovating, and here are a few notable scams that are on the go at the moment. Phishing. Now, phishing, what they are doing now is they are using QR codes. Somehow, when you see a QR code, there's a certain look of authenticity about it. I think we've come to recognize if we get a few strange web addresses, not to click on them. But scammers are now using emails with QR codes, and they're sticking malicious links. Sometimes they're using sort of public places like parking meters to direct victims to fake websites and to steal their bank details. The other one that's doing the rounds at the moment is FCA impersonation. That is the Financial Conduct Authority. And when it comes through, it looks highly authentic. And, they'll send out millions of these and it will probably sort of hit a few people where it's relevant. So, one doing the rounds at the moment is a message that comes through claiming that they will help you to recover money from a crypto wallet. And they can help you to, maybe find lost loan money. And, but it's a scam. So, just watch out for that. The other thing that they are exploiting is, I think the switchover is scheduled for 2025. Certainly, we've already switched over our sort of analog telephone line to the digital line. The digital line means it's coming through via your broadband. So if the power's down, you don't have a phone. I mean, that's the reality of it. And they are using the sort of anxiety that sort of people feel whenever there has a major change, that they could be coming in and sort of offering to help people with this, this phone connection and just dreaming up something that will catch a senior person feeling anxiety at a change that's about to happen. Right, having recently gone through buying a new iPhone, because I've bought, as you'd expect, I've bought the iPhone 17 Pro Max, top end of the range, £1,200 worth. And I've encouraged Joan, my partner, to go for the iPhone 16. And part of the reason is from the iPhone 16, all models are able to have Apple Intelligence on them. And I think this is probably the route to go. So, anyway, step one is know what you want. And if you just want to do a few basic things like calling and texting and doing a little bit of shopping and stuff, just go for the most basic model that you can get hold of. If, like me, you want something more, in my case, I'm prepared to spend £1,200 because I'm not buying a phone, I'm buying a camera. I no longer have a Canon EOS because the quality of the iPhone cameras are superb. Well, probably all smartphones are superb, but I stick to the iPhone. And so I'm actually buying a camera. And so £1,200, I'm very happy to part with that every 2 to 3 years. So, but the important thing is know your budget. Know your budget up front. Don't get caught up in smart salesman talk. if they're offering you stuff that you're not going to use. And also, going for the bigger size or the smaller size, it's important that you do this. So choose your budget, then get help in buying and setting up. I think it's important to actually have someone you trust, a member of family, or like our group of seniors that we have in our sort of program. We'd be very happy to help any one of them to actually make a new purchase. But I think it's important to have this. The other good thing is Apple stores are well worth being the place that you buy the phone, because the moment you arrive in an Apple shop, they take your name and they automatically set you up with somebody who's going to explain everything. And once you make your purchase, you move on to another desk where a guru will then help you to actually back up everything into the cloud if you haven't done it already. And then it'll help you to actually remove everything from your old phone and push everything onto your new phone. And importantly, clear the old iPhone, because then straight away they can give you your trade-in. And the trade-in makes the purchase good. So that's why, I feel if I'm trading in every I think maybe 2 years is better, I'm getting a fairly decent price on my trade-in, and I'm maintaining in an area that is subject to a lot of developments over time. And once you get going, I mean, I must tell you, it is frustrating, because you move the basic stuff across. You can get rid of the old phone, you got the new one. What happens in the background is, and it might take overnight, all of the apps that you have overnight will download from the cloud. Then you have got the problem of certain, like the banking apps. It's not simple. You have to go through the whole process of logging in and actually proving your identity. It's there for your own safety, to stop people who want to, do bad things with your phone. But be warned, it's frustrating. So once you've got everything fine-tuned and back to the way it wants, and you've now got this latest, you really don't want to change your phone for 2 years. You want a bit of peace and quiet. And then step 4, stay safe and stay supported. Make sure that you've done, got all the right things in place. And I'm thinking along the lines of, you've got Find My Phone, just in case you need to recover your phone. You're using face identity, you're using passcodes for security, you're using two-step verification wherever you can. You've set up your emergency SOS, you've got your medical ID. And a tip is, your Apple ID and password, write it down somewhere in the safe place, because without that, you can't do much. So my encouragement to my partner Joan is, I said to her, you must buy a phone that has Apple Intelligence on it. And it's only from the iPhone 16 across the full range that this is true. I think the iPhone 15 Pro has the right chip in it, but it's from the iPhone 16. Okay, so Apple Intelligence. A little bit about it. I mean, is it there? Because if you picked up on any news, people are frustrated. They think Apple has fallen way behind, and all the others are way ahead. And Apple are not known for being the first people to introduce things, but they are known for a number of things, which is they are safer. It is more private, and they put a lot of effort into that. So let's talk about Apple Intelligence. So what's working? Well, what's working brilliantly now is we have a smarter Siri. Siri now understands context across apps and screens. You can say, remind me to reply to this email tomorrow, and it will, in the context. Or when you're looking at a photograph, you can say, send this photograph to my daughter, and it works. So, for example, in your daughter's contact information, you can put in there that this person is my daughter, and it can respond to that. So a much smarter Siri. The other thing is writing tools are everywhere. These are tools that can help you to sculpt whatever you're trying to say in a much better way, and you've got the opportunity. So within notes, within mail or messages, you can now rewrite, summarize, or adjust the tone with just a tap. It's perfect for crafting sort of clear text, and gentle reminders. We've got to come to the clear understanding that AI, certainly from now onwards, it's just going to integrate into most of the things we're doing in society. And I mean, I wrote and I dictated a whole piece recently, and there were typos, and it just didn't work out right. So I actually got it to rewrite the whole thing, and the end result was really clear and actually quite nice and punchy. So, you know, don't back away from it. It's there to help. Okay, so a few other things. Genmoji and Image Playground. I mean, I've had my new phone for a month. I haven't used them. They look nice. You can create playful images and stuff. It just doesn't fit with what I particularly want, but it's there. And the last two items that have popped up on the screen there is the Apple platform security. And this is what a lot of people are saying is what's held Apple back. So bear in mind, if you want to go onto ChatGPT and you want to ask a question, you put in a whole lot of context and it gets pushed up into the ChatGPT, those big data centers, and it's churned around and then it comes flying down to you. Um, it's not very secure. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty secure, but it's going out there. Whereas Apple believe that the AI part of what happens ideally should take place on the phone. It's the safest place. It's happening on the phone, and with Siri, if you've got a question that's a little bit too complicated, it then turns to its pal, Chat GPT, and says, I'm going to use Chat GPT. But apparently, whatever the question is gets encrypted, whacked up into Chat GPT, and then come back encrypted and de-encrypted. And so, and they're saying that that's what slowed Apple down. But, by spring of next year, there's going to be a hell of a lot more. The other thing is live translation. You know, real time in FaceTime and phone calls is now seamless. So you can have cross language conversations that feel very natural. I mean, it doesn't really apply to me, but to people that are working in multi sort of national sort of environments, this could be very useful. I have bought the AirPods uh, Pro Series 3, and in this you can actually use live translation, which sounds truly amazing. So there's a hell of a lot there already. That's actually pretty damn good. And, I think, by the spring of next year, we'll be very excited about things that we can do just with Apple Intelligent. Right, three streaming recommendations, all programs that we've watched. And Slow Horses, season 5, from Apple TV. And the chances are you can maybe get Apple TV just on a test. I don't know, a couple of weeks test or for free or whatever. But Slow Horses is brilliant. I mean, it's really good, and it's and this latest one is based on Nick Herron's book London Rules, and there's a character in there called Roddy Ho, that is someone who's sort of universally disliked, and he happens to be you know floating around and happy as a sandboy because he's got this beautiful girlfriend. Now Roddy never pulls, and she's gorgeous. So all of his colleagues think, wow, there's something going wrong here, and that is the trigger, and it's all the political stuff that's happening. The ruthless Diana Taverner she's now sort of aiming for the top job, and it's just, I mean, there's such amazing characters, and Gary Oldman is superb. I mean, he's the absolute star there, but the rest are really good as well. Next program, I picked up listening to Virgin Radio. I'd never come across this program. It's Netflix. It's Famous Last Words. And what they do is they get a famous character, and they record the famous last words of that person. There's an interviewer on the stage just with the famous person, and the cameras are controlled by people outside the room. So they're remotely controlled, and the camera people can't hear what's being said. And then right at the end, the interviewer leaves the room so that the famous person can have their famous last words. So nobody has heard those famous last words, and only one person has heard the content. And this is one, it's the last words of Dr. Jane Goodall. And my goodness, I mean, what an amazing, amazing person she is, and the things that she has done in her life. I mean, it's you just got to watch it. I mean, Joan and I just feel we just want to watch it again because she's just so amazing. And okay, third recommendation, Diplomat. I can see the T's being cut off. Diplomat, series 3, and I've always enjoyed The Diplomat. I mean, it's complex, it's got nuances, and the characters are really, really good. And it's how, you know, sort of Kate and Hal are the sort of the key characters. You know, Kate, very much the British ambassador, probably scheduled to be the next vice president, and then the president dies, and the vice president becomes the president, and one thinks that Kate's going to become, you know, the vice president, but then she picks Hal, and then everything that goes crazy wrong, and there's the entanglements, you know, the discovery of a Russian submarine off the coast of the UK with a lethal sort of atomic weapon, and it's I mustn't say anymore. I loved it. It's just really, really good program. Right, here's a little tip. If you click on notes, it's right at the top there. So I'll click on it, and I'm going to click on quick note, and at the very bottom I'm going to start a new quick note. And then you see the little paper clip right in the middle of the sort of menu items. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to record an audio. So I push on record, and now whatever I'm saying is going to be picked up into the recording, and I can continue for a little while, and you can see that it's recording all the time. Then I'm going to stop. And you see where it says resume at the bottom, just on the left-hand side, there's a little quote. I'm going to click on that, and you can see it gives you a transcript of everything that's been said. So I click on done, and it's now in my quick notes. At any stage, I can click on that, and I can go back and play it. So that is a very useful thing when you want to record a group discussion and just have some record afterwards that you can make sense of. Okay, that's the end. It's an absolute test to see if this will work and if it's of any use to you. Please be kind enough to message me back. Tell me what you think. Be honest, and tell me what else you'd like me to cover. The idea is I'll do this once a month. Whatever I put in there in the way of sort of iPhone tips and tricks, whatever, and there might be 2 or 3 that I'll do in any one month. Via sort of coaching and sort of one-to-ones and maybe sort of FaceTime, I can help people that might be struggling to implement something that they feel they'd like to do. So please help me to make this a good way of getting you updated on all the things that are happening that are important to you as a senior in this crazy digital world. Help me to help you. Thank you.